Hey there, my friend. Perry Tinsley here. When we talk about health and fitness stuff, the journey really starts in our mind. A lot of times we don't give that part of it credit, but really, it's all about setting the right mindset to create the habits that last. And a lot of times we've gotten into some habits and patterns and beliefs that bring us kind of back to that comfort zone and keep us from reaching our goals over and over again. So I'm going to share with you 3 non-negotiable mindset strategies that can really transform your health. And I know they really transformed mine. So let's get into that great stuff. But before we do this, I want to say welcome to another Power Blast podcast where we provide nourishment for the soul, allowing you to transform from the inside out, providing rapid results in mindset. See what I did there? And fitness, so that you can recharge that mental and physical battery of yours and reclaim your power. And we're going to dig in some great stuff today. And I want to make sure when you are ready to conquer that moment where you're like, hey, enough is enough. I'm drawing a line in the sand. I've got to do this stuff. I want to apply these strategies that Perry's doing. Jump on my calendar, talktoperry.com. I open that wide open for podcast listeners so that we can talk about those goals of yours, talk about the things that you really want, and where the things are that are draining your mental and your physical battery, and they're keeping you from your goals. And I'll give you some strategies on there too. That's over at talktoperry.com. So we're talking about really digging into just a few non-negotiables here. And it's really easy to say, well, I have non-negotiables, and then you really kind of tweak them to your convenience. So non-negotiables means like, hey, I've made a decision. I'm committing to these no matter what. And that's a big shift. When you do that and you start saying this, I am committed to this no matter what, that is a huge shift for you, whether it's your mindset or whether it's your like fitness plan, your nutrition, or even an empowerment ritual for your mindset. So first thing is clarity. Every transformation journey, it begins with really getting clear about what you want to achieve. And the thing is, many of us don't know. We don't know what we want to achieve. We kind of just like, well, it'd be nice if this happened, but we really don't believe it. Sometimes we step on a scale and be like, oh, I need to get back to a certain number. Or, you know what, for me at the beginning, it was like, I want to lose this beer gut. I talk to many people and they'll be like, you know what, I just want to lose some weight and tone up and get in shape. This is not getting crystal clear, okay? You need to really write down, what are those health and fitness goals of yours? And so many of us, we let it just swim up in our heads like that's a great, nice idea. Then we don't believe it because old beliefs come in and sabotage it. And then we procrastinate and put things off. So that's why I'm encouraging you to write these things down. So instead of saying something to the effect of, I want to lose weight, I want to tone up, get in shape, it's getting more specific. I want to lose 10 pounds so that I can feel more energetic. I can play with my kids. Without getting tired, I can be more focused at work. Give all of the what will this enable you to do description in that written statement, because that clarity, when you're reaching that, it gives you the ability to stay more focused, to stay, do I dare say motivated? Motivation has got to come within. Okay, it's more of an inspiration thing, but it's going to help you stay on track and really stay focused and take action even when times get tough. Because when times are going good, you have no problem showing up, right? And everything's clicking, the schedule's great and all this stuff. It's when times get challenging, you're stressed, you're compressed, you're feeling a little bit off track. That's the time when we start to negotiate with ourselves and kind of fudge the goals a little bit, and then our non-negotiables become negotiable. Okay, so that's one. Second strategy is consistency. Okay, once you get the clarity down and you know what your goal is, you're gonna have to take action. Now, there's gonna be action of some sort, but it doesn't mean that you have to hit the gym perfectly every day. It's not the perfection stuff, and I know a lot of times people do that and they're like, well, I'm going after it, totally 110%, and then you get off a day, where you're kind of like, man, I couldn't even hit the gym, and then you start to get in that habit and start to feel like a failure and that you didn't do it. Or you had a meal that you called a cheat meal, but it turned into a cheat weekend, which turned into a cheat week. You know what? It doesn't mean making a commitment to take small. It doesn't mean that you're making a commitment for these big all or nothing things. It's the small, consistent actions. James Clear, and I often refer to James Clear. I don't know if he wrote it in Atomic Habits or on his blog or wherever I got it, but I love how he said it. You know, when you're at the beginning of your journey or restarting your journey, in the beginning, it's more important to develop the habits than it is to see the results. So if you embrace that and just say, you know what, non-negotiable is I'm just creating the habit every day. I don't care what the scale says. I don't care what the clothing size fits. I don't care what's going on when I walk past the mirror and I see myself and start to pass judgment. I don't care about that. I'm showing up. Non-negotiable. So you're being clear with yourself. You're being consistent with doing that. So maybe it's you got yourself a little empowerment ritual where every morning you go out and you blast a 15-minute walk. You start choosing salads over fries for lunch. You're making the small, consistent choices that eventually will add up. You just got to trust and believe that. You know, say I'm digging back into the belief stuff again. Third thing, accountability. Now, I'm going to tie with that to take responsibility as well, because a lot of times things that happen around us, we give our power to and don't want to take ownership that it's how we responded, how we acted. Did we still show up for ourselves even though there was crazy traffic getting home? Did we show up for ourselves even when the pets had an accident on the carpet? Do we still show up for ourselves even when the to-do list got a little bit bigger or an extra project happened at work? That's the stuff I'm talking about, where you're like, I'm still showing up. Being accountable. Sharing your goals with trusted family members, or maybe it's just friends, or maybe it's like an online group that I run, and you're welcome to message me on that. I do one every single month, you know, because I'm a guy that thinks in 30-day chunks. Well, they're 31 days if you, but you know, 30 or 28, whatever the month is. But it's having someone hold you accountable, and you really got to be accountable to yourself to help you stay on track. And I'm not saying that you've got to be so obsessive and really track and dial everything in. Eventually that can come. But it's somebody that's going to provide the support when you're having those struggling moments. Somebody to call you out on, hey, are you sure you want to decide to have that instead of this food? Are you sure you want to just, you know, and then you've got the opportunity to check in with yourself. It's not somebody that's being bossy, but it's somebody that's calling you out on your goals that you said you were going to be non-negotiable. I'm showing up for it, right? So accountability, it turns your journey into this shared experience that you get, because people are going to be there to share and to celebrate with you. You know, that's the absolute rocking thing. And that creates sustainability. See, all these things I started putting together as I was going on my journey. And I was realizing, you know, when I first started, I'm like, I'm going to do it on myself. I'm not telling anybody about it. I did get support from my wife. I didn't ask for permission. I just said, can I have your support? She was going to do her thing. I was going to do mine. I didn't want any judgment, so I went and worked out quietly in the back room. Didn't let her in. And dang, if I didn't get results. But I was kind of doing this little secrecy sort of thing. And it would have been very easy to let myself off the hook. It was just making those non-negotiable things, saying, you know what, here's my goal this time. I'm going to pay attention to the journey. I'm going to show up no matter what. And that was, I came up with a non-negotiable for those times when I was not feeling into it or feeling unmotivated or feeling, you know, a little off or a little headache. I made a commitment to myself that I'm going to show up at least 15 minutes. I'm going to do the thing. And I'll call it a day afterwards. Most of the time when I showed up to do the 15 minutes, I finished the workout. But that was it for me. And that empowered me. That gave me confidence. So I had the clarity going, had the accountability going, and the consistency was, I'm just doing today. I'm just showing up and doing today. Yeah, I know. And I started to worry because my fitness program got to a certain level, and then I was supposed to go to the next level. And I was afraid that might take me out of the game. So I was kind of procrastinating and tiptoeing around that thing, only to realize I was just making up stories in my own head. And I was totally, totally ready by that time, because of the consistent habits that I was doing, to take it up another level. But because I had never experienced that before, there was a little bit of fear that came in. And I'm like, aha. But that's paying attention to the journey. Awareness is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So think about it this way. You're getting on a plane, you're going to fly across the country. The crew, knows where that plane is going to go. If they have to divert a little bit around storms, or they have to, go avoid some turbulence, whatever, they're always going to make the adjustments that get you to that destination, constantly course correcting. And they are also supporting each other, from the ground control to the pilot going, co-pilot, all the flight crew, all that stuff, helping each other stay accountable. And that's where I can come in for you. I hop on a call with me at talktoperry.com. Just go to the calendar. That's what that talktoperry.com, it just takes you to a little video, a little calendar, and just kind of opens that up for us to have a dialogue, to be able to hear about your goals, what's draining your mental and physical battery. Because so many of us, we go around life wearing this busy badge like we are a 6-year-old smartphone with 2% battery life and no charger in sight, and we're kind of feeling like, oh my gosh, not one more thing, I'm going to totally be zapped, So I want to help you recharge. I want to hear the things that you're working through, and within 15 minutes of us talking together, I will give you the best direction, where you're going to get the best results from, so that you can recharge your mental and your physical battery and really be able to conquer things and reclaim your power. And I'll also give you my Power of 5 strategies so that you can reach all of your goals. I mean, how would your life look different if your mental and physical battery is running at 100% instead of 2% every single day? TalkToPerry.com is where that's at. You're the captain of your health journey. You're the pilot, right? So it's with clarity, consistency, accountability. That's going to guide your flight to success on your journey. But you got to get on that journey. And you got to get serious about it and stay committed, but you got to make the decision on it. And getting totally healthy and fit, it's more about, it's more than just hitting the gym and eating right. A lot of times people are like, oh, I know what to do. I'm supposed to eat right and do the gym. But there's a gap between knowing and doing, and that's where I'm filling this in for you, okay? It really starts in the mind. And with the strategies of clarity, consistency, accountability, you create these habits. And you just show up day after day, and it's going to lead you a happier, healthier you. So stay the course, keep going, and just know you can choose to use your power and take total control of this. Or you can let the things go in like excuses, negotiating with yourself, rationalizing and justifying your decisions, limiting beliefs, comparison, all those things. You can let those control you and drain your power. It really boils down to deciding and committing to yourself and your goals, and choosing to figure out new ways, showing up for yourself, looking at possibilities, learning and growing, and keep moving forward. You've got this, my friend. I'd love to hear your top takeaway from today. Drop those down in the comments. I do reply to those. And I'll respond, pop those in there, right there. You absolutely rock, my friend. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week. That's another Power Blast podcast in the books. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, when you are ready to recharge your battery, make sure you go to talktoperry.com. That's talktoperry.com. That's Perry. And I want to listen. I want to hear. What's going on? I want to help you in that 15-minute call to recharge your battery and reclaim your power so that you're off and running and creating massive momentum toward your dream. Also, every day, I am delivering more motivation, support, tips, and strategies inside my free community with amazing people like yourself. And we are conquering the mindset and the fitness. I do 52 weeks of free training in there. Plus, I coach and I mentor people, as well as give you access to tons of resources and guides. It's called my Upside Down Fitness community because we work on a lot of mindset stuff, the inside stuff. And we're a fun group of people striving to make healthier habits in this awesome chapter of life. So make sure you get in there. I promise you'll absolutely love it. Just head over to upsidedownfit.com and you can get into the group. And hey, you would be an awesome friend if you get over to iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast and leave an honest rating and review for the Power Blast podcast. It helps awesome people like you find this show even faster, and that's who I'm looking for, awesome people like you. That's all I have for this week, my friend, and just to let you know you absolutely rock. That's all I have for this week. I'll see you on the next Power Blast podcast. And always remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.